Women standing on the shoulders of giants.
Rolling.
She is more than a boss.
Kim has shown me that it is possible to do well and still have a life outside of work. With Cheryl, it goes beyond just talking about work all the time.
She is overcoming barriers.
Liang Love really made me feel like I was not alone. Teardra, we really did explore what we really wanted to do in life.
She is driving change.
Liana, she's such an expert. I have huge respect for her. Sophia has done really interesting, really great work with us supporting women in tech.
And she is leading by example.
From Sarah, I learned a lot about writing your own story. With Yixuan, I mentor her because we're both women in a male-dominated industry. Hi, I'm Johanne Siy. I'm the head chef of Lula in Singapore. I grew up in a coastal town near the northern part of the Philippines. It's actually 5 minutes from the beach. So you can imagine there's a lot of seafood, fresh produce. It was a fairly simple life. Most of my memories revolve around food. For breakfast this morning, I'm making champurrado, which is a chocolate rice porridge. It's actually a sweet, salty combination, traditionally eaten with dried fish that's salted. My mother allowed me actually a lot of freedom in the kitchen, even if I was this little child just fumbling about, trying to copy what she sees on television and cooking shows. So I like to finish it with a little bit of evaporated milk, just a little bit of ikan bilis. Always reminds me of home in the Philippines. Being a chef was never a path that I considered seriously. My parents encouraged me to pursue a career in management, accounting, or banking even. I suppose it's one of the better options for women. So I went to the University of the Philippines to take business management and accountancy. I moved to Singapore in 2003. That was to join Procter & Gamble as a brand builder. While I was working with P&G, cooking was more of a weekend passion project, but being in Singapore and seeing how it can be a viable career option is something that was revelatory to me. It was a very difficult decision leaving P&G and taking on something that is completely new. So I went to the Culinary Institute of America to pursue my passion. When I graduated, I worked in New York for a few years. The first day that I actually stepped in the kitchen, I had to scrub the floors. And that was, for me, a reckoning point. I had to think, do I want to be doing this the rest of my life? It makes you think about how committed you are to pursuing that path. And yeah, that's when I realized, yes, I can do this. Definitely women are underrepresented in the culinary field. More often than not, you come into a restaurant, you expect the chef to be male. Even, my suppliers, they come, they're like, oh, can I talk to the chef? And I'm like, oh, I'm here. Hello, chef. Hi, how are you? I came back to Singapore in 2013. Restaurant Andre's name was like being thrown around, as you know, is gonna be the next best restaurant in the country. So from Chef Andre Chang, I learned the power of cooking from the heart. It was definitely very rewarding. He's the type of person who will push you to your limits. And at that point, I welcomed that. The training, that mentoring, that molding was exactly what I was looking for. I worked at Andre from 2014 to 2018. I was definitely saddened that the restaurant was closing. But also at that point in my life, I was thinking of trying out something new. I got a message from a dear friend who told me about the opportunity at Lola. And I was like, yeah, why not? It was the first head chef role for me. So I wanted to look back my experiences and figure out what type of leadership resonated with me. It's a style of leadership that adapts to the environment, the capabilities of people and their motivations. It is leading with compassion and kindness. Of course, if you're too nice, people might walk all over you. Being a female chef, walking into a totally new kitchen with a set staff, that is one of the major concerns. How are they today? Are they good? Better than last week?
I arrived yesterday morning.
I suppose it's just societal expectations. We have been groomed to expect this very authoritative figure of a male chef yelling in the kitchen, directing everything in a very dictatorial way. It was very tempting to adapt that style of just being a dictator. But I just thought that it is not necessary if you have the respect and trust of your team, that you are all working towards the same goal, and that, most importantly, you have their interests at heart. I was definitely honored to receive the Female Chef of the Year award in 2021. It was something that I wasn't expecting. I would love to see the day, though, when women are not minorities in this industry anymore, when we don't need a special category singling out women, when men and women are on equal footing. Success to me has never been about money or prestige or power. Rather, success for me is to achieve the best possible version of oneself and being able to make a real positive impact in other people's lives. And I actually want to thank a very special person, Sarah, who is an avid supporter, confidant, and who always gives me advice.
Hey, hi, Joy.
Come. Hi. We met in 2006. We were still both in PNG. She just came and joined from Manila. I suppose we gravitated towards each other because of our shared heritage. And there was something that we had in common, which was this can-do attitude, you know. I don't think you will find two people who are better at making things happen than if you work with both of us combined.
Now, I think our husbands will say it's our willfulness.
Well, yes, yes, it's true.
When she asked for my advice that she's gonna leave the company and then get into this culinary world, I was initially afraid, right? I was worrying for you. In my head, she just got promoted and she was showing great potential in the company. And I was telling her, and then you're gonna move to culinary world. You're gonna what? Slice fruits, you know, my idea of it, yeah. And then do all those frying. So are you really sure? I thought you were crazy for fabric care.
Is it the one we had to organize?
But every time we talk, you know that there is no barrier that you can give to her that she will not overcome. She was really dead set. And because of that, I knew that I just need to support her.
Sarah has had like a very profound influence in my life. To a huge extent, much of how I lead and who I am has in some way been influenced by my friendship with her.
Okay. So, can you just check? Am I 15 pounds lighter? Hi, I'm Sarah Tolentino. I'm Director for Advertising Production at Procter & Gamble. I've been friends with Johanne for 16 years already. We developed our friendship in P&G because she was doing a lot of TV commercials and I need to support her. We would drive the production team crazy because we have this passion for details and we would niggle on some details, sometimes too much.
Hello, hi, welcome back. Hello. Okay.
I think we're both no nonsense. When we put ourselves into something, we will put our mind, heart, everything into it. And we will make it happen really well.
The grilled scallop. Oh, wow.
From Sarah, I learned a lot about embracing yourself for the unique person that is you. Playing up your strengths, leveraging that, writing your own story. You don't have to be this authoritative figure that walks in and like, oh, look at me, I'm the boss. It can be a softer approach, one where you lead with empathy, compassion, kindness is something that I imbibe from her.
For me, kindness is mileage. You get more from people by just being kind. It's not just the work that you get from them, you get better feedback, you get openness, you get commitment in their work because you have already built the trust they need to collaborate. It's a win and help win environment. And compassion actually inspires decisive action and problem solving at work.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Okay, how's the session going?
Yes.
I started my career in advertising agencies where it's very hierarchical. You start at the bottom of the food chain and you cannot just butt in conversations. We need to be mindful of the Indonesia version, right? And then the Malaysian one because we cannot show them with the bees and all. I grew in my career. I've been enriched by life's challenges. I've become better and I've become mindful also of the value add that I bring to the table. Knowing your self-worth is the key in speaking up. And that applies for both men and women. This is consistent also with the key visual shirt. I encourage women to speak up by first knowing their worth. Because for me, the fear of speaking up is rooted in not knowing what you can add value in that situation, what you can put on the table. As you gain competence, you gain confidence also. So if you have expertise, it's natural that you have strong opinions, and that's a trigger for you to speak up. Hi guys, how are you guys? Just here to talk about the progress on Women Director Program. In our organization, we're big on diversity, equality, and inclusion. And one of the projects there, which is in my line of sight, is having 50% of our films directed by women directors. Sounds easy to do, right? But I found out there were very few women directors. So I knew then that I needed to do something. I created that community so we all can meet and learn from each other. I'm glad to report now that we have had significant wins on this matter.
Let's transfer this lotion.
We must be role models and nurture the next generation with kindness and compassion. That's transformational mentoring.
Let's put more like this.
Okay.
Johanne's greatest strength would be her drive to build people around her. She's an inspiration, no? She's paving the way for them to be leading with kindness and compassion. A good mentor is not just someone who has attained a higher position, passing down tips and tricks for you to copy and paste. A good mentor should really care about you, how you think, professionally as well as personally.
Yeah, I know. So this is Yixuan. She is a chef de partie at Lola. She handles the cold side and the dessert section. She's been with us for about a year and a half.
I heard about Lola's opening through my friend. I thought it was a male chef. So when I came here and when she told me she's the head chef, I was a bit shocked. It's very uncommon to have a female head chef. The first day we didn't really communicate much, but as the time passes and move along, it's actually very fun to work under her.
Maybe we should consider putting a...
I feel that we are actually closer, and then it felt more like working as a friend instead of having a different level. But we still respect her as our head chef, but it also felt like she's a big sister to us.
Thank you for not saying a mother, but
As a big sister, she's also very concerned about our personal life as well.
very careful.
It's a very homey environment here, yes.
With Yixuan, I mentor her both from a professional and a personal level because we're both women in a male-dominated industry trying to figure out how we're gonna make a mark.
Test, test. Hi, I'm Tan Yixuan. I'm chef de partie of Lola. I started working in F&B, but mostly front of house at the age of 16. And then I only started in the kitchen maybe 9 years back. My parents are actually against me being a chef. They both think that being a chef is more for guys. It's a tedious job and there's a lot of heavy work. So for me as a girl and small in size, they always feel that I'm not capable of carrying stuff in the kitchen, or I will get bullied by guys in the kitchen as well. Yeah, but I was just following my passion after that. Yeah.
So all potentially new guests, guys. Let's go through the specials. Okay, anything we need to push on this? Dessert?
Apple is okay. Truffle, there's treat.
Okay, thank you. Let's have a good service.
Thank you. When I first started, there was a little bit of culture shock. We actually do get scolded from chefs. It's very common when it's very hot and heated in the kitchen. The very first time was in the very first restaurant under my first mentor. He actually grabbed my collar. So it was because I didn't understand what he was trying to say. It was chorizo. Back then, I don't have any culinary background, right? So I just didn't know what is going on. Then he just grabbed my collar and was like, I was telling you that's chorizo. Then I was like, oh, okay, yes, chef. Then I had to Google what it was and just grab the thing that he wanted. That day, I was just shocked. It was actually very scary. 9 years back, it's more male than female in the kitchen. And then you tend to hear a lot of dirty jokes. Yeah, that the guys will just forget that you are there. I have never really encountered any sexual harassment. At the most, it will be just like male chefs trying to pinch my face because they think I'm cute. I just like, can you all just stop doing it because it's not really nice. It's not all guys that actually does that. It's just sometimes that they are really too used to like being with their brothers and they just talk about it out loud.
It's definitely disheartening hearing about stories like this. On this matter, I think it is important to speak out and not put up with it. In the past, female chefs have accepted it as a norm, you know, it's a given. You just have to learn to close one eye and like live with it. But the world is changing, the industry is changing. Hey, thanks for bringing the kue.
No problem. It's very near my house anyway. So, working under Chef Zhu is very different. Even when the kitchen is very hectic or very busy, right, she can still keep her calm and handle it very well. And then if we make any mistake on the spot, right, she will just come to us quietly on the side and tell us like, you can do this, do this, do this in order to correct the mistakes and solve the problem. She shows us things that we don't know and then teaches us things that we are curious about. She's like a walking encyclopedia, I would say, with her knowledge on food. And then I've never really seen a head chef actually sweep and mop the floor. I would say that the colleagues are more respectful. She's always striving to build a bond between us. We have any problems or anything, we will look out for each other, yeah.
So here at Lola, we like to keep the menu exciting and fresh. So I've tasked Shen to come up with a special that celebrates whatever produce is in season at that time.
I wouldn't say that it's smooth sailing just because it's female chef. We also have our stress and pressure from just serving the food at perfect condition. But at least I don't have to worry about chef yelling at us. I just need to focus on doing my job well and then just, finish the task on hand. Under her guidance, actually, I had grown a little bit more confidence with my creating of the dishes. Because in the past, whenever someone asked me to do it, I will always reject because I feel that I cannot make it. But because she gave us the chance and a lot of opportunities to try out things, I get more confidence now.
I would rein back a little bit on the sweetness.
Okay.
A great job.
Thank you. Thank you, Chef.
Beautiful, beautiful, really. Because that mouthful was...
Whatever I have learned from Chef Joe, leading by example, being kind to people and being thoughtful, I hope that will be what I can get in my kitchen in the future. Yeah.
They always say that women are emotional beings, and maybe that's true. We are emotional compared to men, but why is it framed as a problem? Our skills are levers, and our emotions are the compass to do good. Women have a shared history. We have the same present predicament and the same hopes for the future. Wouldn't it be sweeter when we help each other?
We'll do grilled scallop instead of the shellfish too.
I think everyone should help each other instead of just woman helping woman. A woman can be a leader as well, and then we can do things that they thought that we can't.
Women, even the remarkable ones I know, are very much prone to self-doubt. And sometimes they just need, like a small voice there, like a friendly voice saying, you can do it. You don't want all the talent to go to waste. And that, as a leader, falls heavily on your shoulder. The responsibility of molding someone, helping them realize their potential.